What is up, people? Welcome to the Long Island TCG Tournament. We are entering our top cut, so we are in top 4 cut. The players in top cut currently, based on seeds, we got Luke Levy on Raging Bolt, first seed, playing against the 4th seed, Liz Rains, who is playing Dragapult. And then we have a stream match here. So our stream match is going to be Kevin Fuentes playing Gardevoir versus Yomar playing Miraidon. So, I mean, like a pretty tried and true matchup, pretty classic one. One that is a little more, I would say, tilted towards Miraidon, I'd say, but definitely not unwinnable for Gardevoir by any stretch. So,
yeah, we'll have to see what goes on. Miraidon, definitely the turbo golden boy of this format. The ability to take multiple prize cards early on and deal very game-winning knockouts very early to set themselves ahead. Definitely gives the Miraidon player the edge in this matchup, but we'll have to see what exactly goes on in the top cut. Again, we are at the Long Island TCG Show Invitational at Millville, New York. We are currently waiting on the match to begin, it sounds like, from our end. But stream match seems to be, I believe these two are cousins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
They are brothers, actually,
okay.
I found out. So just as you're hearing on the intercom right now, the TCG show is winding down, but this tournament is just heating up into our top 4. We've got Miraidon versus Gardevoir. So what do we have right now? Was there a dice roll or was there a coin toss yet? Okay, so we do not have a coin toss yet, so we will have to see what exactly happens. Just wait to see this intercom to end.
Yeah, we got a little bit of intercom stuff going on. I think like the showroom kind of slowing down now, maybe closing up. Top 4 just beginning though, so don't worry. Stick around, and we're gonna have some fun with these matches for sure. So, like I said, kind of Miraidon versus Gardevoir. I don't actually even really know what Kevin's ace spec of choice is here. I think it is kind of more leaning towards like the slower build of Gardevoir. Not really 100% sure what's in his list, honestly. I haven't really talked to him much about Gardevoir as a deck, so I'll be learning with you guys. When it comes to Miraidon, honestly, the deck is really figured out. I would assume that this list is probably very close to what Azul won Merida Regionals with. I'm assuming it's very close to that. So, yeah, we'll just have to see what happens here. Miraidon versus Gardevoir, definitely a matchup we've seen quite a few times. But, yeah, we'll see what happens here. Kind of interested in seeing what Kevin's like tech choices are. You know, maybe we got a Klefki, maybe we got a Mawile. You know, there's a lot of different picks for Gardevoir currently. I'm kind of liking the Klefki right now. So, we might want to see that come out on the first turn if Kevin loses the coin flip.
All right, we will have to see what happens. The other match in top 4 will definitely, it is not the stream match, but we will definitely draw attention to Raging Bolt versus Dragapult. Raging Bolt definitely favored into that matchup, but sometimes, you can just not draw the nuts, and Dragapult can just win off of a good disruption, or a good set of disruption. So we'll have to see if Elizabeth can take it down over Raging Bolt. So let's see what we've got from our end. Do we have any record of the coin flip yet? Okay. Okay, yep. In the stream match, we did confirm that we're getting it's still Miraidon versus Gardevoir. Definitely confirmed as a stream match, so that is the one we will be watching.
Yeah.
Got the dice roll right now.
Heads.
It is heads, so
This is a flip that matters, like, quite a bit.
Both decks definitely want to choose second.
Yeah. Either you're evoing on the first turn with Guardy, or you're just trying to get that hand has a lot of energy.
I see.
Okay, Kevin's going second, so it looks like Kevin won the flip. He is playing the unfair stand, but I do see that in his hand already. Didn't really get a good glimpse of that hand otherwise. Yomar's hand has so much energy in it and a nest ball. Definitely not really what you want to see early, because you want to be hitting those E-gens, so you don't really want them in your opening hand.
And a Muse start.
So and another one. Dude, that's crazy.
We definitely get the easy Miraidon here. So we have that plus the additional setup. I will note that I just want to confirm what our time is for top cut since it's best of 3, whether it is 50, 60, or 70 minutes. All right, we just got word back from our production team. We will see how long that goes.
Yeah, so I see him moving up, these Pokemon to the front of his deck. Definitely makes sense. He's going to get the Miraidon, the Pikachu, and the Iron Hands. Makes sense. He does want to start loading up that Iron Hands very early. Best way in anticipation for an Evo. Because, Kevin chose second here just because he wants to get that team Evo and start applying pressure immediately before he gets, Iron Hands, basically. This matchup basically just becomes on Miraidon's side, basically a 2-prize taking simulator. The thing I always say about this matchup is I really do think that in terms of Miraidon itself, you know, the deck, if it doesn't take all 6 of its prizes by like turn 3 or maybe 4, then you're like you're in bad shape, right? We do see this E-Gen draw. I do want to note the attachment to the Miraidon over the Iron Hands. Definitely a little lost on that. Not gonna lie. I think we definitely do want to try to get these amps early.
Ooh,
Just a whiff.
First whiff.
Kind of makes sense though, just considering how many energy were in that opening hand.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, most of these decks play 15, I think 14, 15, 16 energies now. 16 being common, I think, with Azul's list.
Sure.
So definitely, I mean, chunking the first 5 energy out of your deck on your opening turn, 6 with the 1 in hand. So 6 out of the 14 energy, your chances of hitting an E-Gen are definitely a lot less. So it looks like we have the pass back over to Kevin. Kevin gets the Buddy Buddy right off the bat. Ideally, we are just getting the double rolls. Kevin prize checking seems to be, I see a Monkey Dory. I see Spirit Tomb in the deck. I do see Cresselia. And Manaphy. So Manaphy not really going to help him here, but definitely some other tech cards that will probably assist him in this matchup. I'm just going to confirm. Yes, he does play the Spirit Tomb there. So ideally, we want to at some point bench the Spirit Tomb to prevent Yomar from being able to Lumen, but we'll have to see what he does next. So
yeah, I do want to know as well. I think I see a Palpat in his hand. Definitely a card we're not really seeing in the Gardevoir deck very much currently, but I'm assuming it's kind of just to reuse your Turo here. I think maybe Kevin only plays 1 Turo. Maybe he's trying to get back the boss and the Turo, because I feel like those are often your targets for that Palpat. So very interesting inclusion here, and I do kind of like the like the fact that you still have access to the double Turo, but can also maybe get like a second boss or like extra Arvins back in the deck.
That is very true, and I do also just want to note just a little side note here that it seems like the time consideration for the semifinals and finals is 1 hour and 15 minutes. We got
75.
We got 75.
Get a full set out of this. That's cool. We did see the refinement come out. Unfair stamp, but in hand. So, I mean, when this knockout occurs, Kevin will be able to really see some cards, but currently this hand is a little dead. Maybe next turn we can see more. There are energy to Greninja away, but I think we might just see a pass here from Kevin.
Definitely a world where also you could potentially bench the Spirit Tomb here.
Yeah, I like it.
We want to cut off Yomar's ability to make plays as early as possible. So, that's definitely an option for Kevin here. We'll just see what exactly he wants to do.
Yeah, I do like that play. I think in this matchup, a lot of the time, 1 Monkey Dory is enough a lot of the time. So I think having that other bench spot devoted to the Spirit Tomb is quite strong. We are going to see the Arvin, so no Luminion had to come down here. E-Gen is getting pushed to the front, and a Farseal as well. So it looks like we just want to try to hit the E-Gen here, and we're going to tandem unit as well. We do have the
deck.
Pikachu. Yeah, we do
Thinning the deck is important, or due to the stadium in play, Area 0 under depths, because Yomar has a Terra Pokemon in play, being the Pikachu in this case. His bench is 8. So it gives him the opportunity to thin his deck very well, putting down the Magnemite, which is definitely the consideration that I would have. Magneton's ability, saying, oh, knock out this Pokemon. You can knock out your own Pokemon. Give your opponent a prize card. But if you do, take 3 energy of any kind, any basic energy from your discard pile, and attach them to your electric-type Pokemon in any way you like. So in this case, if, say, they get a knockout on the Iron Hands that has 4 energy, all you need is an energy in hand and the Magneton. You give your opponent a prize card, and your Iron Hands is charged up yet again. So we'll have to see what exactly the first play is here. We do see the option to getting 2 E-Gens. We'll just have to see what the first one does.
E-Gen.
That's 1.
That's 1. That's 2, baby. All right, yeah, we're done. Oh, 3? We don't even... Oh, Miraidon.
On to the Miraidon.
Interesting. Opting to not take the 2 prize cards here, which actually, now I think about it, if we tandem united for a Raikou there, we could have Farsealed for the double turbo as well. So just opting to only take 1 prize card here.
Oh, so
motivate? Okay.
Taking a slower approach and flooding the board with energy. Definitely an interesting take, right? Because you're kind of showing that Kevin didn't Evo this turn, so you know that he can't get to a Guardy EX. So you're essentially saying that the game is going to progress 1 turn earlier than normal, or 1 turn later than normal. So we have our refinements coming up. No knockouts. No knockouts were taken. Also, Arvin in the hand.
Arvin in the hand, yeah. And this is where I think a play like this is really going to bite Yomar, because in this situation, he really needs to get ahead. And now Kevin is just given all this room to breathe. You know, his board isn't threatened. He has an Arvin in hand, and even a reset stamp. I just don't know how Yomar can really come back from something like this.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, he could even Evo the Curlia and the Ralt into a Curlia Gardevoir, and then now you've got your guaranteed setup, and you can't even, at this point, you have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. So I mean, you could force the Gust Raichu with the Forest Seal. You know, that's definitely something that could be leading into that play. But other than that, I mean, probably not the best situation going on here. We'll have to see how this kind of pans out in the long run. But I know we do have the Evo in hand, so let's just see. We have Earthen Vessel, got the 2 Psychics in hand now, so we can start pitching more cards, drawing more cards with a thinner deck. Maybe even you know, maybe just getting that raw Evo. So now
yeah, I'm noticing too. I'm kind of looking at Yomar's hand. I don't think he has much else here. So I'm wondering if he's going to opt for like a Miraidon swing next turn, or maybe just like an arm press.
I mean, taking one off of this is like okay, but I don't.
I almost think you just don't want to, right? Like I feel like you almost just motivate again, right? You still got some energy in this card.
Probably, yeah. And then maybe just like if you have any sort of disruption in your deck, maybe you just Raichu plus. Yeah, okay. So
I like this, yeah.
So we definitely have the Evo play. Buddy.
Get another Ralta, just make our board really wide. I honestly don't hate it. I like this, you know. If that Ralts does get knocked out, then we still do have that ideal 3 Curlia in play. So I do still really like this.
He does see the option. Putting down just the 1 Ralts. Benches 4 now, and then chooses to Evo into Curlia. Okay. So this is fine. It removes the Raichu play, and now at this point we can set it up so that we do not have, or we could potentially get to the Iron Hands play this turn. And now the game kind of progresses as normal, except just 2 turns later, I guess. We'll have to see what Yomar does in this case. Opting for the Raichu with Tandem Unit.
Yeah, I do see. I think I saw him top second Iono here.
That is an Iono.
He could Iono and try to draw into the double turbo, so he doesn't have to far seal here. That's kind of probably the line. Yeah, so that's exactly what he's going to do. Try to find that double turbo energy so he can go for the amp. Definitely a little later than I think we would like. Usually the turn 1 amp or the turn 2 amp is ideal here, but he is getting there. I do see a Gust in hand as well.
4. We have the Magneton. That's 5. That's
cool.
6.
We got a nice established board here. We also have the bundle. I kind of like that here. You know, we can at least knock out one of these draw Pokemon on the bench, like whether it's a Ninja or a Curlia.
Yeah, but unfortunately, in order to get enough energy on the board to do that, unless you are retreating into the Miraidon, you either need to Magneton, which is kind of iffy. So I guess you just have to Force Seal for the... Yeah, you'll have to Force Seal for the double turbo and then just swing with the Iron Hands here. And then it's just up to Kevin to find out or to find a response. I guess we'll just have to see what happens off of this. Did Iono... His hand's not great, but he does have the guaranteed Gardevoir, so that's a good start.
So we are going to retreat. You know, the energy does stay on the squad because that Latias is in play, granting him free retreat. And then the Ambu very much coming out from the Iron Hands. He's just going to take the knockout on the active Ralts. And so he is going to go up here, but Kevin's got such an established board.
Yeah, I mean, even taking the 2 prize cards, Ambu very much being such a powerful attack. Card text says, if you take a prize card, take 1 more prize card with this deck. So all 2 prize knockouts or 3 prize knockouts, 1 prize knockouts or 2 prize knockouts, etc., etc. So, you know, definitely a very powerful attack, but even with 2 prize cards in hand now, or 2, have taken the first 2 prize cards, we'll have to see what Kevin does in response.
Yeah, opting to get rid of the Squawk and the Mew there. I do like that. I think that having what's on the bench currently is probably your strongest bet. The Latias is important. You know, we do need some free retreat here in case some boss stalling shenanigans happen, basically, right?
Very true.
Don't think that's going to come into play here. I do think Kevin is just going to get a swing. He is artisaning before the refinements here. I think he does just want to reshuffle so we can try to find that stamp. I think that's basically the thought process here. Because
yeah. Getting the Monkey Dory, first Monkey Dory that we're actually seeing might actually get to be used in this tournament.
Yeah,
from our
for
stream.
sure. And the funny thing, too, is like he does have the Drifloon in hand already. So, like, honestly, in this position, artisaning first is very understandable because there's nothing else you would even really want on the board otherwise, right? So this makes a lot of sense. Getting the thing that he knows he wants. He has the Drifloon in hand already, so he can knock out this Iron Hands with the Drifloon. Just getting that Monkey Dory saying, hey, I'm going to want this for later.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll just have to see where we get here. We get effectively 6 cards off the top here. So if we draw the Arvin, we do get the unfair stamp for free. Or, well, as a result of that, I should say. So, oh, just draws the unfair stamp. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are cooking at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is honestly a situation, too, where, like, yeah, you could keep refinementing, try to find that Gardevoir. He hasn't even played a support yet either, so I guess... Oh, he has Gardevoir in hand.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's looking really good. I don't know how many energy he exactly has in discard, but yeah, definitely time to evolve that. Maybe he just drew that off the refinement. Not quite sure.
Yeah, and
but-
then maybe at this point just stamp and then maybe draw 2 additional cards. Maybe you see the dark energy so that you can go.
Yeah, definitely put that Drifloon down.
Because Yomar presumably doesn't have any way to get these Pokemon off the board in any way. So ideally being, if you Monkey Dory once, plus the Guardy EX Punch, then it does open up the board for Raichu to trade for 2. Or you can just take the 2 with the Bravery Charm outright and KO the Iron Hands. That might be his best bet right now.
Really like the sequencing from Kevin. I'm seeing some really, really high-level sequencing, just basically refinementing until he could find the Gardevoir once he has that locked in. Playing the stamp makes a lot of sense because, an Arven or something would get him an Ultra Ball there. Really, really like this from Kevin. Playing the stamp, still has one more refinement, one more Greninja left. And I think that is actually what he wants. I think he wants an Arven to find a Bravery Charm here.
Yeah, getting the Bravery Charm off, and then you can just swing into the Iron Hands, because then the only amount of prize cards that Yomar can take is just 1. So, all right, TM Evo.
Do you see an Iono?
We got an Iono, but I think we just have to draw 2 more cards.
Oh,
we
did he
get
draw
the
an
dark.
extra? Did he draw an extra?
He got 2 Ionos.
I think he drew an extra card. Am I
Well,
crazy?
wait.
Did he?
1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4,
that's
5, 6.
6.
Oh,
He did draw an extra card. Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
we'll
wait,
we'll have to see if the judges pick that up.
Yeah.
He got the
He
Arven.
did draw the Arven, though.
Oh, waiting to see if the
Yeah.
judge.
I'm wondering if they noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, waiting to see if the judges caught that, because Kevin did draw 6 off of the unfair stamp. So we'll have to see if there's any sort of penalty on that.
Yeah, I hear some laughter going on. I think maybe they recognize what happened here. Oh, it's unrelated. Okay, they're just laughing about something else. Okay.
All right, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the thought process is here. We'll have to see if there's any penalties being meted out. But we do. Looks like he just got the counter catcher, so I guess he has the Bravery Charm prized. Okay, so probably just see if we can let the judge in the area know that that happened. Maybe try and see if there's any sort of recourse for that, because we definitely don't want to let that go.
Yeah, because we're just playing the game now. There's just so many actions going on now. This is not what you want to see in a top 4 game. Just basically, you don't. This is not what you want to see.
At this point, we definitely have a board state that is very broken right now. So we definitely want to see if there's any sort of a recourse for that.
Yeah, for sure. And going for the Latias here, I'm kind of surprised we're not chasing the Raichu, since that can knock out the Gardevoir, or just Driflooning. I think I did see an Arven as well. So
yeah, you would take the 3 off the Monkey Dory, and then you would swing into that.
So I guess the Miraidon goes in. I guess we're just going to keep playing the game out. Yeah, so they're just going to continue. There's going to be no penalties.
Okay. All right. So we will continue as normal. We have... Oh, careful there, Yomar. All right, cool. He accidentally put the rescue board back in his prize instead of the heavy ball, because it's the same color. But he fixed that real quick. All right,
so we are getting the Raikou out here.
Kevin does take the first 2. The retreat cost is not, it doesn't matter right now. So we'll have to see if he decides to take the Raichu KO here. Looks like all he needs. Yep, that.
Yep, yeah. This is kind of the concern. He probably doesn't have it, but still, just a very risky play on Kevin's part. Especially when he could have just pushed in that Drifloon.
Okay, so
wait. Do we have the boss for the amp?
No.
Oh, we're
just an arm press.
Arm press?
Just an arm press for 140 because he has no other option. Okay. So, yeah, definitely doesn't have any other cards. Looks like the Disruption stuck. Definitely seems like one of the main win cons of Guardy into Miraidon is just you want to see that Disruption stick over and over and over. So, we definitely have a full board right now. We have to kind of see what Kevin does next. If he does find his one of the boss, maybe you can boss KO something else. You definitely don't have the access to the double Monkey Dory, so because you played the Drifloon this turn, so we'll have to kind of see what he does.
Yeah, because honestly here, I guess he actually can't really one-shot this Iron Hands, now I think about it, because I'm not going to lie, I was a little confused by this play at first, but I think it does make a little bit of sense if Kevin doesn't have, a way to Turo, which I did just see Turo hit the hand. Yep. Which I'm not going to lie, I was a little confused by this. I think this makes a lot more sense after looking at this. So he has the option to do the double monkey Turo play here, or he could just Turo the Gardevoir that also can work here, because maybe could just establish another monkey.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he had access to another Monkey Dory in hand,
Artisan,
although
perhaps?
he does have the Artisan, so
Yeah.
I just don't know. I did not see if he had an additional one in the deck, so I think he's just opting to go with the Gardevoir play.
Okay. And he does have the Artisan on the board. I don't know if he's used it this turn, but I do see a Dark in his hand.
Yeah, so I just don't know if the Monkey Dory was in the deck or not. Oh, nope, he does have the second.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, word.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So he's just got it. So now he's got the KO off of that. We have the one line of Guardian on the board. We'll just evolve and then attach 3 energy, take the 60 or the 30 damage off, and then KO the Iron Hands here. Kevin will take his 3rd and 4th prize card, and then Yomar will have to figure out some sort of response, or this is going to be a very quick game 1.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where the game just gets a little too out of control for Yomar. Kevin has the dream board. He's got 2 monkeys. He's got like a Greninja, and he's got like these Curlias. Like I just don't exactly know. He's even got the Drifloon as backup. This is just a very, very difficult situation for Yomar to kind of find himself out of here.
Okay, got the evolution into Gardevoir EX. So I guess he probably only plays 2 Monkey Dory, and he had the second in hand already, which is probably why he didn't Artisan.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm saying. I think he is playing 2 monkeys. I think that is the one thing I actually did talk to him about this list before the tournament started. I think he said he was on 2 monkeys. So
okay,
a lot of this kind of drifting towards 3. There's been some talk about 2, some talk about 3. I don't know. I think 2 is like the minimum. I think 3 is like the maximum. I think both are perfectly acceptable.
Sounds like a plan. So
and there
we'll
it
take
is.
the additional 3 and knock out. Cool. Kevin has taken his 3rd and 4th prize card, and there's the Bravery Charm. So as long as Yomar doesn't have any sort of disruption, he will take the 1 prize with Miraidon, and then it is lights out.
Yeah, this is a. I don't really want to say like it's checkmate, but like it. I think it is, right? Like I just don't know exactly what Yomar can even do here. His hand has nothing in it, just a lightning energy. He can't really do much here. I guess he can just like Raichu.
No, he can't, because if he has to retreat the 1 energy, then he doesn't have enough to KO the Guardy.
He has a board on the Miraidon, though, I believe.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he does.
Oh, but we're just a scoop.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
Yomar being smart and realizing that we do not have any sort of additional win con.
Yeah, Kevin's hand was too big, and there was no way to disrupt it anyway. If somehow like a disruption card was in the deck and we were actually able to use it effectively there, maybe there would have been a difference. But Miraidon doesn't typically play disruption. I did see 1 Iono in there, but it was already played. So I don't know how many are in the deck, but honestly, in that situation, yeah, I think we just go next. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and it looks like he's opting second, as you definitely want to do it with a deck like Miraidon. Both of these decks definitely want to choose second, so there's definitely a chance where they can get. There's definitely a chance where you can get donked as the Gardevoir player. We'll have to see how that exactly turns out in game 2, but that should be coming up in a second. Thoughts on game 1 so far?
I mean, yeah, no, honestly, in all seriousness, Kevin had a great board. He established it really well. I really do think Yomar should have committed to the Iron Hand sooner.
Yes.
That is definitely your win con, that matchup, 100%. And just kind of going for those early amps. And he did get there, but by that time, that's like kind of how the matchup will go, like in Guardy's favor, right? Where, yeah, you do lose the first 2 prizes, but your board is just too established to really take the loss. So that's basically what happened there.
Very true.
Yeah, I want to see some amps, man. I want to see an amp turn 1. So.
Yeah. Yep. Looks like we just got confirmation that Yomar is going second. He definitely wants to. So we'll have to see how that turns out. I guess they're just setting up right now. So we will. There we go. So we have a basic on the board.
Yep.
Yomar will be mulliganing his hand. So
dang, that deck plays like 20 basics. That's crazy.
That is very crazy.
What the heck?
Yep. So I guess now this time you wanna. I know that you had just said, Christian, that you want to see some amps from Yomar early. How do we kind of get that done? I guess in this case.
That's a good question. So I always say this as a joke, but in order to become the Don, you have to think about the Mirai, right? Which means the future in Japanese, in case you didn't know. But that's my little joke here. And by that, what I mean is you actually literally just play a ton of cards out of your deck, right? Like literally, like if you have an Arven in hand, get the secret box, thin out your deck, get all these 2 cards. Try to basically use the Miraidon ability to get get out as many guys on the bench as possible, especially if you have that Area 0 in play. So you can go like Miraidon for a Pikachu and a Miraidon, and then play your Area 0, then Miraidon again, and then just fill up your bench. So basically what we need to see from Yomar here is just a lot of deck thinning to make sure those E-Gens hit. And we just need to establish a nice, wide, large board with an Area 0 underdepths. And I do see the Secret Box in his hand, so we are in a good position. Iron Brittle Start's not the greatest, but, I mean, Secret Box gives us a lot of options here.
So let's see what we have on Kevin's side, right? So we have a Pokemon to put on the board to ensure that he doesn't get donked. So we can Artisan for a Ralts, and then maybe place down the Manaphy in the event that he tries to bundle, and then just pass. But doesn't seem like there is much else going on here.
I mean, I don't hate the bench on the Manaphy here because we already know the bundles. Like, if the bundle wasn't on the board, it might be a little more questionable, but we are just going to go for the Ralts. Another thing we could do here is, honestly, like, with a board this fragile and a hand this fragile, I honestly don't know if he had an energy in hand, but if we did, I don't even hate retreating into Klefki here if it's in the deck, right? Like, I don't even hate that either.
I do not think I saw it in the
I don't think I did either. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yes, I think we're just going to have to go for this Artisan. It's a really underwhelming start for Kevin. Gardevoir really is a deck that prefers first pretty heavily. Yeah, and I see him considering the Manaphy. I think in this situation it probably is correct. Oh, he did have the energy in hand, though. So, but yeah.
No, I definitely think that the Manaphy is definitely correct.
Yeah, the bundles right there.
Yeah, because if you do get the Arven next turn, then you can attach Evo. The only problem is now is potentially maybe leaving the Spiritomb in play rather than getting rid of it. So, oh, nope, just the pass. So we're going to have to see what Yomar gets, especially off of that. Wow, okay. We've got an Iron Hands. We've got the Secret Box.
Yeah, Secret Box coming right out. We even have the Forest Seal. So, honestly, here, we can just get...
He discarded an Electric Generator for that.
Wait. What else was in his hand?
I think he had two. I think he had another
Wait, did he have another E-Gen?
I think he did. Wow.
Oh, goodness. So he just doesn't want to E-Gen, I guess.
That's in.
Well, yeah.
The Secret Box was the one card, but then what are the additional two? Forest Sealstone and what? No, because we're in this case we're referring to, just for the viewers at home. In this case, we are referring to what were the other two cards in Yomar's hand. We want to see what exactly he has. So he had another E-Gen in hand. The last two cards in his hand were Forest Sealstone and E-Gen. So he had to discard one of his E-Gens to get the rest of his stuff on the board. It looks like he Nest Ball for the Squawkabilly. So I guess his plan, he Arven for the other Nest Ball to get the Miraidon. So ideally he just loads his bench and, E-Gens now and then Squawkabillies, I guess. That seems like what his play is, although the sequencing on that might not be 100% airtight.
Yeah, I'm still kind of lost on this E-Gen. I think we're kind of reverse engineering the turn a little bit. I think Kevin asked some questions regarding it.
Because, I guess the only other thing would be, like, why, I guess in our case, for the strategy, why wouldn't you discard the Forest Sealstone there? If you already have a guaranteed setup, is there any reason for you, especially if the Forest Sealstone is a one-of, to keep it? I don't know if that's an actual, I don't know.
If there was nothing else to discard in the hand, I actually do think you keep the Forest Seal there because it can become an E-Gen, because you could walk into it. But if it was basically any other card, I think you keep it. Okay. Right? So if that was the actual only card left in hand after the Secret Box, I think that's reasonable.
All right.
But I don't actually know. It's been a while. Yeah. Oh, no, there was two E-Gens. Okay. No, that actually makes sense. There was two E-Gens. That makes sense. That makes more sense.
So now at this point,
that makes way more sense. Okay.
At this point, we're going to be.
Oh, dude, what the heck? No E-Gen?
No E-Gen hit. Wow. The lifeblood of this deck, Electric Generator. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and attach any electric energy you find there to your bench electric-type Pokemon. If you do not hit any electric energies, you are not attaching anything, and means that you cannot attack.
Well, too. Like, he had thinned out all these cards, and it still just didn't work. So he's gonna have to commit to the Squawk. He does still have the Forest Seal online, so he can still Forest Seal Stone. This hand is probably gonna have a couple energy in it. We got 2 in there.
Yep.
Kind of wondering what amount of energies are in the prize cards after seeing that E-Gen, because we thinned a lot out of the deck. We got a lot of Pokemon on board. Not hitting the E-Gen there is definitely pretty rough.
Definitely. So we will have to see how he responds. I guess it's good to keep the one prizer up in the active in this point, because obviously if this ends up going bad again, that's definitely an option. But we do have, if you do end up getting the ability to attack with one of your Pokemon, you definitely should. So we're going to have to see what happens here. Okay. Is that a main attach Electric to Iron Hands?
Yeah, and I think we do have an Ultra Ball on that. Oh, no, but we can't Luminion because of the Spiritomb. That's it. Wait, no, he's going to try to Fleet Foot, but he can't because of Spiritomb.
And he just realized.
Goodness, yep, yeah.
Yep, just a pass. Okay, so his
Big old
bench
pass here.
his bench is still 8. He does have the Mew in hand, and he's not at risk of losing it, so I'm not sure why he wouldn't have wanted to draw more cards there, maybe into an additional, electric generator.
Yeah, I think there is an Ultra Ball in there as well. So we could have, like, Ultra Balled to Thin, mute for a little bit. Yeah, could have definitely maybe drawn us out of this situation.
But all good for now. Definitely no prize cards taken, no harm, no foul in this case. We do have the Artisan placed back down. I believe that is his last. That is his last Artisan. So if there is another stadium that is put down, that stadium is sticking around for the whole game.
Yep. Although Guardy doesn't mind the underdepths being in play too much, right? Like the Artisan, we do benefit from those, but we can absolutely function without them. So
Very true.
I think this is an okay situation for Kevin. Having this other Artisan in play is nice. I think I do already see an Arvin and an Evo in hand. No, just the Arvin.
And I think that's why he was filtering out the cards into the top. I think I think his plan is going to be to get a Ralt in play and then just Evo, potentially. I just don't know if he has any other ball search in his hand.
Yeah, I don't really think so, but I think that just having the 2 Curly in play here is actually fine. And the reason why is just because of Yomar's slow start. Like
That
just
is
whiffing
true.
the E-Gen, not being able to apply any real pressure here. Kevin is in a position where he has time to get the energy and discard, right? Like he can like thin his deck a little more with this Vessel, and he can really, find these cards. So I do actually like this position from Kevin, just because it gives him a little bit more time, and he recognizes that, so he's going to grab the energies and take his merry time here.
Yeah, definitely. And also even better if you do draw the 2 cards with the Curlia, then what ends up happening is that it gives you an option to get another Ralt, and then you can Evo into 2 Curlias, which in this case, drawing 6 cards is much better than drawing 4. So we'll have to see what exactly Kevin does in the next setup here. I'm not... All right, so we've got... Seems like something's going on down there. Got a couple of questions being asked.
Yeah, I think Yomar is asking Anthony about something. Not really quite sure what it is. Can't really hear up here, but...
Asking for the confirmation of
Oh,
prizes.
asking for confirmation of pricing.
Aw.
That's funny.
Aw, man. Okay. So let's see what we got.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense. Yeah.
So we're just going for the Evo, guaranteeing that we get the Gardevoir EX into play and keeping the Curlia on the board.
Yeah, opting to put the Gardevoir down and also put the Curlia down. Yeah, that's probably okay. I think that, the game is going slow enough that you can afford to lose that refinement.
Definitely if the game is going slow enough, maybe there's an argument for, instead of getting the Vessel on the previous turn with the Arvin, maybe you grab a Buddy because you had the guaranteed Dark in hand.
Curlias. Yeah.
You could get 2 Curlias there, and then now essentially off of 6 cards, maybe guarantee. Maybe with an Iono or something like that, you can actually get to the full setup and play. So we'll have to see how that pans out.
Yeah, so I do see that the Latias is coming down here. I think that was from an Ultra Ball here. And he actually gets rid of the Mew, so he's not going to draw any cards here. He's going to Stretcher for... Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay,
Stretcher
cool.
For nothing. Yeah, there you go.
That makes perfect sense.
Draw 3 cards, so we got the Iono, the Fez, and Dippity, right?
Fez and Dippity and energy cards, so...
Okay.
I think we just need to chase the E-Gen here. Like, I think it's just an Iono.
Yeah, it definitely seems like an Iono angle.
Also, do you want to note he hasn't V-Starred yet as well? The V-Star is on the Raikou. He can still use it even though the Spiritomb is inactive, or even though the Spiritomb is around. Spiritomb does not block Forest Seal Stone. Forest Seal Stone is an ability on a tool, not on a Pokemon, so it kind of just bypasses that.
That is very true. All right, we see the Iono from Yomar. Refilling the hand with 6 cards is definitely very good, but also might be a little bit scary because your opponent also gets 6 cards, and with Gardevoir, that may lead to a very big card advantage. So let's see what Yomar got. We got, all right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can put down 1 more Pokemon, ideally probably the Magnemite if you have access to it.
Okay, so he is going to Forest Seal Stone. I think he just kind of wants to E-Gen here. Oh, is that Double Turbo?
Double Turbo. Okay.
Did we have an E-Gen in hand?
Yeah, so I guess he'll just have to go for the E-Gen and hope he gets it. Maybe, perhaps sequencing maybe just to see if you hit the E-Gen first or what have you, but does not look like you have a lot in this case. So we'll have to see what Yomar does.
Yeah, the nice thing about this is if Yomar can amp here, Actually, just due to like the way Kevin's board is, I think like it's actually a little tricky for Kevin to get the kill here on the hands. So if he's actually in a situation where he can Iron Hands and the Iron Hands lives, if he like digs up a boss, this could actually be pretty good. And if the Spiritomb is actually the thing that's going to get knocked out here, that's also pretty good for him.
Very true.
Just because then he could actually open up a Lumineon play. So
very, very true. So we'll have to see how that pans out.
but he is opting to bundle.
He is opting to bundle to see. It's the old check to see if you're going to make a misplay.
Yeah.
You know,
He's going to give him the Mana Fee.
which is definitely correct in this situation.
Yeah, I think so. That's why the Mana Fee did hit the board. We are going to do a deck search. I actually don't really know what was played there, but I'm sure we'll know soon. Nest Ball, we're going to get the Pheasantipity, you were thinking? I think it was in hand before.
I don't see the nest ball played down, though, so I'm not sure why.
I think it hit discard. I think we just can't see the discard, yeah.
I see. All right.
Yep,
okay.
exactly.
So
We got confirmation on that Nest Ball.
All right, so we're going to that, and we're
Oh, he can Fleet Foot now. That's kind of cool. Yeah. He'll see a card. Pass. Oh my goodness.
Interesting.
So we're just there's just no E-Gen. I think we attached the hands, but we're just not able to amp at all.
There is nothing left here. So we'll have to see what Kevin can produce off of that. Pitching the Psychic Energy, I do see an Iono, and potentially I see a Rod, I see Iono. No Arvin. Could use the Turo, but how many energy do we have in the discard pile right now? We have 2. So attaching the Dark, you could swing with the Gardevoir EX and do pretty much nothing else this turn, or you could Turo the Manaphy into the Spiritomb, retreat into the Gardevoir, and then punch the Raikou that way.
Yeah.
Put 190 damage on the board. I guess it really depends on what he has access to at this point. I don't hate the thought of maybe buddying for another Ralts, potentially get some more draw on the board later on.
Yeah, get a nice board set up. I mean, Kevin was, given this opportunity to just he received a pass on the Maridon side, so he's just given this opportunity to set up an even wider board, and it just seems like this is just the first game all over again. Yomar not able to really apply any pressure, not really looking to set up Iron Hands, and because of that, Kevin's given so much time to establish such a winning board.
Okay, let's see what he puts down here. Does he have any more Ralts in the deck? He does. So he's got the 1. Good. All right, cool. So let's see what else he is capable of on this turn. I think if he really wants to get a swing this turn, I mean, there is no energy on the board right now, so I don't even think it matters at this point. We are going to do that. Yep. There you go.
Tear up the Manaphy, nice and simple. We'll put the Tomb back up, retreat it so we get the energy in the discard. Nice sequencing on Kevin's part. So I think now we do have enough Psychic Energy to get something done here. So this won't be a knockout if we don't have the Monkey, but does Kevin have a Monkey that he can lean on here?
Don't think so. I did not see any routes to getting that. I mean, we do. Yep. Just opting to swing for the 190, which I think is fine. Yomar doesn't really have anything to get the Raikou off the board. So, give yourself the option. You have the Curly in hand. You can just draw for a couple more cards and just see what you get,
Yeah, you see this a lot in the Gardevoir deck. You don't have to take knockouts. You can just cash in later with Monkey Dory. So,
yeah, discipline.
Fine.
Discipline definitely being the name of the game. Sometimes waiting is okay. So, I believe it was an Arvin down from Yomar. We'll have to see if he grabs an E-Gen. Yep. And looks like, 5 or 6 energy left in the deck with probably 13 or 14, 15, 16 cards, looks like. So, maybe a 1 and 3 if hitting the stuff he needs. So we'll have to see what exactly he gets off of that. Still can't get the Magnemite down. Seems like it's prized. So definitely not really much else going on here. We'll have to see what exactly he does.
So we do have the E-Gen finally, so we will be able to play that. I did notice that Yomar was not attaching to the Iron Hands. Like, he did have the double turbo in hand still, so I guess he can E-Gen hit 2 and then double turbo the Iron Hands.
Looks like he just looks like he only hit 1.
I think that Iron Hands may have had another energy on already, so. Oh, it has 2 currently. Okay.
2 currently, so we can't see that on the stream feed right now. Okay, so he did get the 1 attached, so that sets it to 3. So you do get the ability to arm press to set up for the amp the following turn for 3, because there is no way that Kevin can get the response KO, so that, potentially might be your best play. He doesn't have a gust, so probably you just attach and then arm press and then see where you can kind of get. Oh, he does have the attach for turn, so
so we're just doing this the old-fashioned way. We're attaching 4 lightnings. And Iron Hands, he may have been late to the party, but he is here.
Yep. So we're gonna have to see. Looks like the damage count on that. Make sure we got to keep that the same. Careful now. 190 on the Raikou. So now
I
I
wonder if
think
we see a boss's orders here, so we can take 2 prize cards.
let's hope.
That would definitely be the strongest play from Yomar here.
Yeah, I mean, it is true, though, that with the Pal Pad, it is presumed that Kevin might only have 1 Turo in the deck. So we know for a fact that aside from any additional 30 damage, the Monkey Dory damage is going to stick. So
yeah, and he did just opt to just arm press again. So we are just we're just trying to trade with the Gardevoir here.
yeah, which is fine, right? If Kevin takes the first 2 and then takes the first 3 right out, and then Yomar takes the first 3 right after, then that does put Yomar in a little bit more of a commanding position of the board. We'll have to see if he can get any more energy back on, but
Yeah, we do see a Turo in Kevin's hand though,
so he does play double Turo.
He does actually play double Turo and Pal Pad. Wow, that's
Okay.
a lot.
That's
a lot of Turo, baby.
In this case, that is A-OK. It works out in Kevin's favor in this matchup. So let's just see what we draw into.
Yeah, get
'Cause
rid of the
ideally-
Evo, not a
'cause
card we need anymore.
Ideally, we definitely want to hit the Monkey Dory. Also, a world where maybe... So, the Raikou only has 10 HP right now. So, a Monkey
Yeah.
Dory can do the job, but also maybe the damage from a Flutter Mane, because we know that the rescue board is on a different Pokemon in play right now, or it might be. If not, you also can have just lock Latias in the active with Flutter Mane. Maybe deal the 10 damage to the Raikou and knock that out, or... You know, there's definitely a couple of options that you have available to you at this point. Just you know, as long as you may or may not have a gust. So we will have to see.
Yeah, and I do see that. Yeah, the Turo's definitely going to come down. We have these other Curlias in play, so we are going to just be able to recycle this Gardevoir basically over and over again. I don't think we have the knockout on the hands, but that's honestly A-OK. It doesn't seem like Yomar has much of a aggressive play here. Like, I guess he could maybe try to find a Raichu, but I don't think he's got much in his hand currently, and it seems a little tricky to kind of get that out.
Yeah, I mean, he can tandem unit. We know his bench is 8. We know that he can tandem unit right onto the board. Something else, I just have to make sure that his bench size is fine. We've got 6, so you can put the Raichu on the board, but we'd have to hit an E-Gen and at least 1 energy plus attach. So that is a possibility, but I just don't think that is very likely. We'll just have to see how that kind of turns out. Right now. So now what opens up here, we'll have to see what he does. Yep, he's just swinging for 190.
Swing.
Okay, cool. So now
We are setting up damage, baby.
So now there are a couple of options that we get access to, right? That's a lot of energy. Sheesh.
Yeah, Miraidon do that to people.
Wow.
We're gonna attach it to the Miraidon manually. You know, sometimes Miraidon hands are just like 8 energy. It's like, yeah, that's fine. It's normal.
Okay, so
No
it
biggie.
looks like we are. What are we grabbing here? Not sure what the supporter card that was just played was.
Yeah, I don't think there was a supporter bleed, unless I'm crazy.
Unless it was another nest ball, maybe. But
Could
I mean,
be. Yeah, Nest Ball, we're getting the Raichu out. Yeah, I guess, you know, just thin out the deck a little bit.
True.
Could have tandemed, but I don't know. Maybe we just don't need anything at this point. I mean, it's not like we need Fez, because nothing got knocked out.
Yeah. So we'll have
Oh
to
my
see.
god, that hand is 4 energy, dude. Oh my goodness.
That is bad. So now we know that Kevin can get the pretty much guaranteed 4 prize knockout here.
Yeah, there's no way he can't find the monkey next turn.
So I think it might not even need to be the monkey, because if you don't get the monkey here, you do have
Fluttermane.
the Fluttermane. You can
Fluttermane.
Fluttermane. You can Fluttermane KO the Iron Hands and deal 1 damage to the Raikou to knock it out. So we'll have to see how that turns out. We do have the evolution at Curlia. We can draw 4 more cards. Let's just see what we can get to.
All right, we'll hit that refinement. Manaphy's probably going down. We don't
Bye-bye,
really
Manaphy.
need that here.
Okay.
Do you see the Bravery Charm in hand? I think there's the Drifloon as well, but we don't have another Turo, so we're not going to be able to really push in the Drifloon here, but don't even think we really need to. I think the Fluttermane or the Monkey Dory will do just fine. I do see the Fluttermane in hand. Oh,
Ooh, okay.
We don't want it.
We do not want it. So I guess we're just thinking about playing the Monkey Dory probably.
Yeah.
We'll see what the prizes are. Screamtail.
Oh, that's a
Monkey
lot
Dory.
of guys, yeah.
Screamtail, Monkey Dory, Unfair Stamp. Wow. Okay,
Wow.
so that's a couple of options there.
Yeah, we definitely want the monkey. I think the monkey's got to be it, right? Like, we definitely have an out to a Dark Energy, right?
Yeah, definitely seems like that's the case.
All right, yeah, we did choose the monkey. Makes sense. That's
yeah.
what I
So
would
I
have
mean,
done.
if we do have the Dark Energy in play guaranteed, then yes, we do get the energy off. Does that influence the damage numbers at all? We're setting from what, 160 to 130. which I don't think matters in any case for the Guardy EX, which means that Yomar could respond with a 2-prize KO of his own. But with Kevin Fuentes having 4 prize cards this turn guaranteed, I do not see any way for Yomar to get back on the next turn.
Yup, and he is able to get this Dark Energy on the Monkey. So we're going to see a big turn from Kevin. 4 prizes will be taken. We're going to heal off onto the Raikou most likely, and then just take the active knockout.
Yep, definitely seems like the play. I don't see any other supporter cards in hand aside from the Iono. I don't think there's any reason to do that right now. Maybe, yeah, no, that would be it. So let's see what he does. Yep, opts to take the prizes on the Raikou right now. That's Kevin's first 2. We got another Curlia and a Buddy Buddy Poffin. Nothing too crazy right now. And I guess the only other thing that he needs to do is KO that Iron Hands EX. I think probably the only other thing that I might say, because we know that Kevin does play Iono. You know, could there be an argument there? Because we know that Oh,
nope.
Nope.
It's a scoop. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the scoop.
His hand was all energy. Yeah, and he top decked a Luminion, and there's the Spiritomb in play. Like,
all right, so that is it. That is a quick turn. Well, I mean, took an hour out of the 75, or what was it, 45 out of the 75 minutes.
Yeah.
Quick 2-0 from Kevin going into that set. Gardevoir beating Miraidon.
Yeah, Guardy still takes a little bit of time, but, you know, it gets the job done just fine. We did see, like, you know, honestly, like, pretty decent starts from Kevin, but on the real, like, the Iron Hands not coming into play is really cost Yomar that game, you know, just not being able to really establish an Iron Hands early. In terms of that matchup, like, you just need to go, like, you just need to get the Iron Hands, like, right out, and giving Kevin, like, all this room to breathe was just, it was too much for Miraidon to deal with.
Yeah, definitely, and that seems to be Guardy's main win con, right, into that matchup. If you're running the Stamp and you're not running any sort of disruption for that, you know, you put down the Spiritomb, you disrupt your opponent, you force them to not have a turn, and then if that happens, you win pretty much immediately because you're able to take 2 prizes, 4 prizes right then and there. You know, but in this case, I guess his deck didn't even work to begin with, so he kind of got the free turns there. Definitely a good win for Kevin that puts him in the finals, and we'll see it'll be him versus either Raging Bolt or Dragapult. I do not have any confirmation on the other game, but in this case, depending on which of our 2 top 4A match, they will. We'll have to see which one of them wants to do an interview with us. We'll talk to whoever about the you know, how they played, what they did, the situation. So let's see what we can do from there. Any other thoughts about that game? Kind of seemed pretty open and shut.
Yeah,
from that,
Kevin had you know, Kevin had the room to create a threatening board, you know, and honestly a ton of Turo. I feel like in that matchup you don't see Turo come up as often as it did, but you know, like when all these arm presses are coming out from Iron Hands, it's not a knockout. So I mean, in that situation, if you're the Gardevoir player, Turo's just the correct way to do it, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so definitely pretty clean win. I'm not really seeing too many, like, you know, like anything crazy, you know, like just like the typical Gardevoir setup, establishing a nice wide board, so you just have all the answers in that mid to late game range. So
that is true. Definitely swing it for 190 over, and just call it a day on that. So I see Kevin over here.
Yeah.
Some discussion with the TO happening right now, but we'll have to see what exactly goes on. See if he wants to do the setup here. Let's see.
Yeah, just kind of waiting on that, honestly. We're pretty much chilling until the finals in terms of like actual gameplay to commentate now. So in terms of that, yeah, so there's still 45 minutes left. I know Luke and Liz are still playing. So that's a matchup that honestly can probably get kind of grindy from the Dragapult perspective, right?
True.
Just because they have to have time to really establish a board and like Badoo, like they're gonna have to Badoo, right? Like it's just gonna happen. They're just gonna have to do it. So they'll just have to Badoo and establish like a nice board. But
yeah, definitely. Definitely an interesting thought here. If we still have 45 minutes in our game, do we know if we're on game 1, game 2, or game 3 in that set? Okay.
All right, cool. So we're getting a little update on the Liz versus Luke set.
Because I was going to say, I just had a thought. If there is no stream match happening right now, we could, if there is enough time, you know, potentially, we could play a little bit of retro on the stream table.
Oh, cool. I'm down.
Can we bring the? Okay, I was going to say. Okay, so
cool.
we'll cut to a
commercial
short break,
guys.
We will be right back. Play a little bit of 2017 World. Bring you back in time a little bit.
I don't know what any of those decks do. I'm gonna play so bad, but it's fine. We're gonna have a good time.
We'll try to talk you through our decision making with that. So stay right there. We'll be right back.